Good evening and welcome to the start of another wonderful week here at A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV. You're listening to the Modern Mystic Radio Show. My name is Sarah, I'm your host. I've been working as a psychic for a very, very long time, and I am looking forward to taking two callers today. So I'm looking forward to listening to your questions and obviously, and of course, delivering those readings. Now, what I want to talk about today is briefly the full moon that we're coming up to on Saturday, which here in the UK, that's going to be very early doors in the morning, about 5 o'clock in the morning. But obviously, it's going to vary wherever you are in the world. Now, this full moon in Scorpio, I think is going to be quite an interesting one. Scorpio is quite an intense energy, quite an intense sign, and it tends to deal with things that are hidden, secrets and lies. So don't be surprised if things start to come out of the closet. Now, I think it's going to be quite interesting because there's various dynamics here with Scorpio that we'll look into in terms of manifesting what we can manifest, but also what we can clear as well, because it's going to be touching upon issues here to do with the past. And it's a great time to kind of clear those negative energies, which is one of the things that I'm going to be using this full moon for. I'm going to be harnessing that energy to try and clear any kind of negative issue. So when we look at negative issues, when we look at negative people, sometimes if somebody has elements of jealousy, which is, again, a very, very strong Scorpio trait, it can affect us on a vibrational level and also on a material level as well. So here, sort of in the physical world, that element of jealousy or envy or whatever it is that's coming your way can start to actually have a knock-on effect on your energy and therefore your ability to manifest and obviously other things that go on in your life. It also governs areas in terms of manipulation. Some of the sort of darker emotions here come up with Scorpio energy. I did pull a card out for everybody as well before I sort of like tuned in and got myself ready for the show. And this is what I got here for you. And this is the Six of Cups. Now, this card is quite interesting. It governs things like issues to do with the past, people from the past, maybe even people from your childhood. And it can also be the past life card. So I find that absolutely fascinating. So please do let me know whether issues from the past have been coming up in your life. Now, with the Scorpio energy, number one, we are looking at clearing the negativity from past situations here during this full moon period. But also, if we look at what we can manifest, because Scorpio does have very positive elements here, we're looking at rebirth, regeneration, transformation. We're also looking at things like psychic ability as well, and many other aspects here that Scorpio can kind of enhance. So perhaps you're looking at maybe even starting up your own sort of spiritual business. Scorpio would be a great moon, or Scorpio moon would be a great moon to work with in terms of attracting that in for yourself. Also, what I found quite fascinating is that Scorpio governs the area of soulmates and twin flames. And this card here, even though it kind of looks at past lives or past connections here, can also indicate a strong sort of past life or soul connection coming in as well. So we can kind of harness the energy of the Scorpio full moon to attract in that soulmate or twin flame. Now, soulmates are one of the things that I absolutely love and adore. And over here in the UK, I've kind of been nicknamed the soulmate psychic because it's an area that I not only love, but it's an area that I strongly work within. So looking at, number one, attracting that soulmate or twin flame in. And let's just sort of go briefly over the difference between a soulmate and a twin flame. So we can have soulmates or soul connections with, in various sort of pockets of our lives. So that could be with family. We could have a very strong connection to a member of our family, or a very, very close friend, maybe our best friend who would have a strong soul connection with. They even may be termed as a soulmate. Or within a relationship, looking at those sorts of soul connections, soulmates or karmic relationships, we're looking at the types of relationships. Yes, you have that intense connection right at the beginning, but then it kind of morphs and changes, and there's a big lesson to be learned. And it might not necessarily be the person that you are supposed to be with and spend the rest of your life with. This is all comes under the soulmate category. Now, generally, when we're looking at soulmates or twin flames, the energy that we kind of get, we might get signs. We may see like double numbers, 1111, or see their name all over the place, or be drawn towards songs. There'll be signs from the universe coming in. But the fundamental element, the one thing that you're going to really notice here, is that a very, very intense connection that you have, and almost like an intuitive bond as well. Now, twin flames are traditionally known as the person you are, the other half. The other half of your soul. And when these energies come in, yes, we get all the elements here that you would find within a soulmate connection or another soul connection, but it tends to be off the scale, absolutely off the scale, and it may completely flummox you. You may completely not understand what this connection is here, because it is incredibly powerful. So when we're looking at twin flames and soulmates, I would say the number one difference in terms of recognizing them is the twin flame energy is a lot more powerful, and quite often you will be able to physically feel each other even though you may be separated by distance, which again is a very, very fascinating thing. But Scorpio full moon is a great one in terms of working with that soulmate energy, maybe even reconnecting a soulmate or twin flame energy, or also bringing in and manifesting that soulmate as well. Okay, so good luck with that. The candle colours to look at when working with Scorpio, either black, silver or red here, because it is a very, very intense full moon that we've got coming up. Okay, so we do have our first caller here, and this is Robin from Queensland, Australia. Hello, Robin, are you there?
Yes, hello. Hello.
Hi, how are you? Hello, can you hear me? Okay, she has disappeared off. Hopefully we will get her back in a moment. So let's go back into soulmates and twin flames. So one of the issues that I've noticed over the last sort of 2 to 3 years is what I've kind of termed as the soulmate crisis. Now, this is where the whole soulmate or twin flame energy kind of goes down the pan, and it breaks, shatters, fractures here. And even though you may still have that cord connection between you two, the issues that have manifested, if you like, within that soul connection are far too intense for you to be together. So if that's something that, again, you want to kind of heal, the full moon in Scorpio will be a great one to use. Okay, so we do have Robin back from Queensland, Australia. Hi, Robin, can you hear me?
I can, hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hello. I'm good, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Very, very well. Thank you for joining me on the Modern Mystic Radio Show. Do you have a question for me?
Yes, I applied for a job last week and I was very overwhelmed and I went blank, completely blank, and I don't know whether I've actually, whether I'll get it or not now.
Right, okay, so you feel as though you may have jeopardised the interview because of your... I mean, let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at this. I'm pulling a few cards out for you. So at the moment, you're feeling very undecided about this particular work opportunity. And I feel here, it's like the whole energy of it at the moment in terms of their decision making is quite up in the air. I don't feel like you've completely blown it. Because work is really heavily featured here within your cards, and what I do see with you is you know, things kind of coming together here for you, and I've got you starting a new journey as well when it comes to the work area. I feel, you know, if I sort of tune into them, I feel like they are understanding of your nerves within the situation. Okay, so I feel like it's not completely ruined here, even though you feel like you went blank. I do feel that they are taking that into consideration here. So everything that I don't feel like they've made their decision just yet, but I am getting a very, very positive energy around you with the work area. So I am seeing you over this summer, over July and August, starting a new job. And I feel like within this job, you are going to be, I feel like you're going to be very, very happy. I feel a very, very positive environment. Apart from this issue of you going blank within the interview, how do you feel about the job? Is this the one that you really want?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to pull a couple more cards just to have a look on this one. Because like I said, I do see you starting a new position. Okay, so the card that I've got is brilliant, actually. It indicates celebrations. Celebrations here. Also, we've got a powerful number of 3, so maybe a job that has over 3 functions or working primarily for or with 3 people, but the element of 3 is coming in very, very strongly here with you, with work. Okay, it may even be indicating 3 days with this. Okay, but I feel that I have got celebrations. I feel like I have got you, despite everything, getting that job. Okay, because I feel that they're going to overlook it. But there seems to be... Were you interviewed by more than one person here?
Pardon?
Were you interviewed by more than one person?
Yes, 2 people.
Yeah. 3 people?
2
right?
people.
Oh, 2 people. Because I feel like there is kind of a split decision at the moment. So I feel like once they've kind of argued things out, I feel like the one person that really, really matters, I actually feel is on your side here. Okay, and this will be the person that I feel you're going to be working with directly. So I feel here, just give this a little bit more time. Don't worry about going blank. Don't worry about what you could have done or what you should have said. Okay, you know, you can't undo what has been done here, but I am getting a very, very positive energy with work for you. Okay, so I feel like you're going to get it. Okay, if it's not this job, it's going to be one that's maybe even better, but I feel here that you are starting a new job over the next 2 months. Does that make sense for you?
It does, actually does, yes.
Okay. Is there anything else you would like to ask me?
I lost two of my daughters, and I was just wondering if they are happy and if they are around me.
Okay, so you lost two of your daughters, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, let's just have a look and see what I get here. I just want to kind of tune into the energy that's around you as well. And let's just see what we have here. Right. Let's just see what I have for you. Okay. So what I'm being shown here is that the energy of your children is most strongly around you. I want to say pretty much on a permanent basis here. I feel it's almost like the times that you lost them, because I feel like there's an element, I'm being told that this seems to be very untimely, unfair in the ways that they went. Does that make sense? In those both individual times. And I feel there's a huge amount of I feel like I have got one energy that seems to be stepping forward stronger than perhaps the other one. So I feel here we've got a daughter that is perhaps a little bit more outspoken than the other one here, but she wants to come forward and thank you for everything that you gave, and she wants you to know that there wasn't anything that you could have done differently that would have changed the outcome. And it's almost like she wants you to release that, because I feel there is something you kind of keep on going over that you feel like you wished you could have done. Does that make sense? There is an element of wishing you could have done something or could have said something that would have changed the outcome here. But I feel here it's the element of let that go and just how can I put it? Let us connect with you, is what they're saying here. Let us connect with you in our own unique way. And what they're saying here is that it's almost like they're telling you just to be still, to just be still and just listen, and their guidance, their energy will be with you. They're never far from you, is what they're telling me. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. And I feel like there is something that, I don't know whether it's a piece of jewellery or something like that you have in relation to one of them specifically that I feel almost connects you directly with them as well. Does that make sense for you?
It does, yes.
Okay. Right, I'm going to have to leave it there. I've got another caller waiting, but thank you very much for coming through to me.
No. Thank you so very much. You have helped me so much. God bless you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. You take care. And off she goes. We have Shelley in Dallas with us next. Hi, Shelley. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for joining me on the Modern Mystic Show. Do you have a question for me?
No, I am in such a crazy place in my life. It's been going, it's ongoing for about a year and a half that I really don't know what my next steps should be.
Okay, let's have a look here. I just want to tune into that time period here for you as well. And what I'm being shown here by the cards is this is like a major opportunity for, it's like your life, whether you like it or not, has been kind of dismantling. And what I get here is a sense of chaos around it as well. And you feeling like you are at the mercy, at the mercy of life and not really feeling in control at the moment. I feel it's almost like there is I feel like there's something new on the horizon coming in for you. And I want to say, I feel like I've got it coming in sort of late July, early August here for you, that I feel starts to lead you. You're in a very unique position, I feel, at the moment. A very unusual position, because most of the time we kind of know where we're going and we have that stability somewhere in our lives, but I don't feel like you've got that. I feel like everything is kind of up in the air. Does that make sense? And I feel that you are, it's like I get you being led, by almost like by the events that are coming into your life. This is what I'm being told here. The events that are coming into your life, not just over the next sort of 4 weeks, within sort of late July, early August, but also ongoing from then on, are going to be shaping and moulding the way in which your life is going. There are huge, I feel, positive changes coming in for you. So even though you are feeling lost and a bit vulnerable, I feel here that what you're stepping into is a far more stable place. So there must have been issues in relation to either what you were doing or things going on in your life that kind of needed to be cleared. I do get the energy of you feeling as though you've been let down by someone else here. And this is kind of going into, the last 18 months. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Yeah. So what I feel here I've got for you is, now that you've let that go, now that has come out in the open, and you can kind of see that person, or maybe it's more than one person, maybe you can see those people for who they are. I feel like you're, if you like, you're being moved and transferred from one set of circumstances into the next. Now, at the moment, you are what I call you're in transition, you're midway. And even though you are waiting for something new to come in to kind of point you in the right direction, it hasn't arrived just yet. That's what I get here with you. But I do feel that it will be. And then I get the movement coming in for you. And I feel like, the area of pretty much everything, work, home, love, relationships, maybe even, personal relationships, friendships, sort of stepping in and changing and morphing here for you. But what I do get here is the sense that even though you feel a little bit lost and vulnerable at the moment, like the universe isn't listening, I kind of get, actually it's different. You will soon see that the universe is very much on your side, and that you are, believe it or not, actually quite lucky and blessed. It may not feel like it at the moment, but I want to say within around 6 months, when you look back, you will actually feel a lot more blessed than you have done for a very, very long time. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Yeah. Is there anything else you would like to ask?
I heard you on the previous reading that you did. Is anyone coming through for me?
Okay, in terms of spirit.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, let me just have a look and see what I kind of get here for you. Okay, so right, immediately, is there somebody that's passed that suffered from cancer at all that you can relate to? Hello?
I'm sorry, you were cutting out so bad I couldn't understand what you said.
I said, is there somebody that suffered from cancer here with you, from your past? Somebody that's passed away?
nobody that's passed that I'm aware of.
Okay, because I'm getting
Cancer, but
like
my mom has cancer now.
Okay. What I was also picking up here was a heart condition as well. So I feel like I'm kind of being given two different things here. So this is somebody that I feel has a very strong connection to mum, okay? Because I was getting the cancer energy coming through. So I feel here, what I'm being shown here with this, even though you are incredibly worried about her condition, and I feel like family-wise, everything is kind of falling apart here. So what I'm being shown here is to have hope and have faith, because I feel that there is. See, I'm getting quite a strong male energy with the heart condition that I'm getting here. So I don't know whether this is your dad or whether this is your grandfather, but I feel like I've got them stepping forward and almost like saying, do not give up hope. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Yeah? So I feel that it's almost like take a deep breath. You are being looked after. Okay, and your mum is being looked after as well.